Hi. How you doing? Oh, whoops. Oh, sorry. One in there.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Girls. Here we are at the bash. Everybody's looks like they're dressed in costumes. How you doing? Good. It's very festive. Nice. That's good. Let's see if this big conference room. So here I am. Lots of big, beautiful women. Scrumptious. But I have yet to actually go up and ask one to dance or engage one romantically. Oh well. It's a chocolate beauty up here, maybe. Excuse me. Hi. What's your name?
My name's Gertha.
Gertha, do you recognize me?
Yeah.
I've been around a long time. At one point I opened up for Elvis, and I'm sort of done blues music and sort of known as sort of the daddy of Sin City Blues. I look a lot younger probably than, to open up for Elvis, you're talking about how many years ago? We're talking about, when he first came, of course, to Las Vegas in 1956 and performed his first show. That's not when I opened up for him, but when he came back in 69 and started to do performances, and he was performing, at the International Hotel, I opened up for him, and that's sort of what I'm talking about. And people generally don't, it's hard. They're like, oh my God, you look, Vegas Jack, you look 17. You look younger than my youngest kid. Generally, what I hear. But anyway, I digress. You are certainly when whoever came up with the expression "big beautiful women," I'm thinking they had maybe you in mind, because you are a very voluptuous, very busty. When I think of voluptuous, I always think of busty. I suppose you can be voluptuous without having a big rack, but you certainly do. I hope that's not offensive to you in any way. But anyway, here we are. This is do you know what number of the big beautiful women, what number bash this is here in Vegas? How many times they've had it?
This is number 12.
And how many times have you been here?
This is number 8.
And you find that most of the men that come here that talk to you, that they are also sort of on the I don't even know what word to use. Rotund, stout. Do you find that they're a little bigger, or is it just a big woman and then most of the men are more or less thin?
I find most of the guys are either thin or average size.
Why is that? Somebody who doesn't know these events would think, well, that it would be a large man that comes to meet a large woman. What is it, do you think, about a thin or medium-sized man that wants to meet a voluptuous woman like yourself?
I think everybody has preferences, and personally, that's my preference, is not for bigger men.
But isn't it interesting, the difference? Whoa, I almost spilled. I got my Long Island Iced tea and just about spilled there. I'm a little nervous around a big, beautiful woman. But don't you find it interesting that a thin man would be attracted to a big woman, but maybe a big woman wouldn't be attracted to a big man?
Yes and no. I find it, for myself, I'm pretty flexible, but my preference is definitely...
And by flexible, do you mean you can put your feet behind your ears? I'm sorry, I can't help it, I hate to add it, you know what I mean? It just comes, it sort of comes, and I just sort of got to go with it. That's probably not what you meant at all when you said flexible.
I'm flexible in my preference, but overall, I do not prefer the larger size men.
Why a thin man for you?
I don't think gasoline and water mix, so I don't think two big people mix very well together.
Now, I often hear people say, "Oh, I don't see color," you know, oh, I don't know. But are you? Would you say you're more attracted to a thin white guy or a thin black guy?
A thin white guy.
Why do you think that would be? You are obviously a very voluptuous ebony princess, and you have, as the brothers might say, "Girl, you got it going on." You know what I mean? But you, why do you think that is?
Oh, I think it probably dates back to childhood. I've been that way since, I don't know, maybe 12 years old. It hasn't changed.
And when you were, what do you mean that it was since childhood? It was, rather than a large black man, it was a thin white man who first robbed you of your virginity?
No, I've been attracted to white boys, white men since about 12 years old, I would say.
And being a ebony princess as you are, do you ever get flack from some of the people in your community calling you turncoat, Uncle, I was going to say Uncle Tom, but Aunt Gertha, whatever, you know, what the expression would be. Do you ever get any of that from your race?
I don't get it from my neighborhood, but I do have people question my preference. I don't get the name calling, but I do have people questioning me.
But you are your own person, and you are a strong woman of the new millennium, and you're probably not all that interested in what other people think.
I could care less. As long as I'm happy, I'm comfortable with it, I go with it.
And now I notice that there's a lot of people in costume. In fact, you are wearing a costume. What are you wearing?
I am a sexy cowgirl.
You're a cowgirl. And maybe it makes you mad that a lot of the westerns we see on TV, like with John Wayne, etc., don't represent African Americans. And so somebody who's seen those old westerns would think that only white guys or white women were cowboys and cowgirls.
Well, I know it's not true because there are a lot of black men who were in Western, so it doesn't really cause a problem for me. I don't think about it that way. And I'm happy with the here and now, and right here and now, I feel I represent who I am.
And I'm in costume. I don't know if you've noticed here, but I am, I've got black leather pants on it. And I've got sort of a silky looking shirt on. Do you want to take a guess on who I am dressed as?
Maybe Elvis.
Well, in a way you are close. I am not Elvis. I am, and as you know, this is Vegas, old, medium, new, you know, all eras, and you could sort of pick your era. And I am picking sort of a new generation Vegas. But I'm not Elvis.
How you doing, sir?
No video cameras?
Do you have a band on?